So let it load. Okay, let's create the folder. So I'll be creating a very simple email message for now. Later on, we'll be talking about the email messages, templates, and everything. But for now, let me just create a simple email message so that we can send the email. Okay. Publication list demo. Okay. Let's click on add content. So we'll be adding physical mailing address. We'll be talking about all these things. So these are some of the required code snippets that we need to add. Let me just mention the subject line. Okay. Okay. Now let me just click on save. So here we have the option of save and send. So we will click on the save and send option. And this basically method or mechanism to send the email is called the send flow. Okay, because we are following these steps and we are doing it in a flow. So that is why this process is called a send flow. Okay, so in the first step we need to define the properties. Like we have the subject line always like pre-populated. We have the from option. So we'll talk about the sender profile and player profile in the admin section, maybe today or tomorrow. So for now, let it be. Now click on the next button, and here we need to select the audience. So we will choose the data extension that we had created. So we'll go to this folder, but here we cannot see any data extension. Can anybody tell me why we are not able to see the data extension? So if you look at this folder, we have 4 data extensions over here, right? But if I'm choosing the data extension, I am not able to see any of these data extensions. So can anybody tell me what could be the reason? Okay. Okay, so the reason is that we had discussed initially as well, that there are 2 checkboxes, sendable and testable. So if it is, I mean, let me click on edit button. So if we use it for sending, then only this data extension will appear for the for the target audience or to send the email, right? But if we do not check this checkbox, then it will not be available for the sending purpose. So I'll check this checkbox. Okay. So if I'll check this checkbox, we have to mention a field or we have to relate a field as a subscriber key. Now, why it is important? Because what happens is that, okay, let me just click on save button first. So when you add a record in this data extension, right, or in any data extension, these records are just the records, okay, in just the records in your data extension, but not the subscriber. Okay, so the moment you add any subscriber into your list or all subscribers list, that record becomes the subscriber immediately. Basically you're adding the subscriber, right? But in data extension we can store the non-subscriber data as well and the subscriber data as well. Then how the system is going to identify whether it is a subscriber or not? Okay, so what happens is that you add the record into the data extension. So whenever you will send the email for the first time, okay, so whenever the email will be sent for the first time to these records, then the system will automatically create the subscriber record in the all subscribers list. Okay, so let me repeat. So when you add the data into the data extension, there is no subscriber created in the subscribers list. Okay, so whenever you will send the email for the first time, the system will create the subscriber record in the all subscribers list. Why? Because if you're sending the email to somebody, it means that person has to be a subscriber, and if somebody is a subscriber, we must have the subscriber record in the all subscribers list. Okay, so when the system will create the record, will create the subscriber record in the all subscribers list. In order to create a subscriber, the system needs two mandatory things. One is the email address and another one is the subscriber key. So the email address value will be taken from the field which has a data type is equals to email address. Okay, so one thing that you need to note down over here is that the system will only be able to identify the email address value using the data type as a email address. So if you do not mention the data type as the email address, or if you mention more than one field as a email address data type, then the system will not be able to identify and it will throw the error. Okay, so the email address value will be taken from here, and the subscriber key value we have to map. So whatever the field that we are mapping with the subscriber key, the value for the subscriber key will be taken from that particular field. Okay, so right now let me show you. So what we are doing, we are mapping customer ID is a subscriber key, right? Or let me do one thing. Let me duplicate. Okay, so what do you think? Like, we will get this email address, or we will get this subscriber in the all subscribers list, or not?
It will be available because we just sent the mail.
We just send the mail. When did we send the mail?
Okay, you just created the send mail that.
Right. So we did not send the email. No, we are only step number 2.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So if I'll search the subscriber, so we should not able to find any record over here. So I'll click on find now button, and there should not be any subscriber, right? So we don't have any subscriber for this email address, and same goes for the another record as well. Now what should happen whenever we'll send the email to this record, or you can say to this entire data extension, the system will create the record. Okay, so what would be the subscriber key when the system will create the record in our subscribers list? Like if we have a subscriber, this would be the email address, and what would be the subscriber key? Is it a difficult question?
It's 1011.
Right. So when the system will create the record in the all subscribers list, this would be the subscriber key. Okay. So now we have made it sendable. So now it should appear. So let me just refresh this one. So now we are able to see this data extension customer information DE 010. Okay, so let me just drag and drop to target it. Okay, so when we choose this data extension as a target audience, here we get that we can choose the publication list. So here we have many publication lists created. So let me show you. So creation of publication list is very simple. We just have to click on create button and give the name, and that's it, right? So let's say we have this Amazon electronics. Okay, so let's say if somebody wants to receive the communication related to this category, um, or let's say we have this preference center page where they have opted in for the Amazon electronics. So what we can do, because we know that the customer is interested in this category, or they have opted into this category, we can select this category. Okay, so that would be a first step. Okay, So whenever you're sending the email, if they have opted into that category, you can select that category that, okay, this is your publication list. Right now, these two subscribers are not added to this publication list, but since we have their consent, we have their preferences, we are checking this list. Now I'll click on select button, and now I'll click on next button. Okay. Okay, let me talk about some other options here as well. Okay, exclusion list I'll talk about in just a while. Here we can, mention the CC or BCC somebody that we want to do, and here we can exclude the entire domain if you want to exclude. Okay. Now in the configure delivery, we have couple of options. The first option is send timing. So do we want to send the email immediately, or we want to schedule the email? So if you want to send it immediately, we can, go with this option. If you want to schedule the send, then we can choose the date and time, and at the scheduled date and time, the email will be sent. Next we have is send throttling. Send throttling means that if we have bulk send, and we don't want to send, all the emails in one go, but we want to send the emails in batches, then we can use the send throttling. For example, let's say we have 10 lakh customers to whom we need to send the email. But if you'll send lots of emails in one go, then the recipient's email server, or in the email server, might get suspicious why, we are receiving so many emails and everything, right? So it basically might impact our IP address, okay, IP reputation. So that's a different concept, but just remember that there's something called IP reputation that might get impacted if we send a lot of emails in a short span of time. And the server might think that somebody is doing the spam activities. Okay, so what we generally do is that we try to send the emails in batches. So here we can select, let's say if we have lots of emails and we only want to send let's say 10,000 emails in 1 hour. Okay, so that is fine. So if we have, let's say, 10 lakh emails, then every hour 10,000 emails will be sent. But I mean, if you do not select the delivery window, then it will keep running, right? Every hour it will keep sending 10,000 emails, and it will go 24/7. But we don't want to send the emails in night. So what we can do, we can choose a delivery window that only send the email from 11 to 8, let's say. So let's say from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so this is the delivery window. Only send the emails between this time frame only, and send the 10,000 emails per hour. Okay, if we have more than, if we have large sends, then we can use the send throttling. Next, we have a tracking. So if we check this checkbox, we can basically allow the system to track the clicks. So if somebody is clicking on a link in the email, we get to know that, okay, somebody is clicking on the link, right? So if you want to, like, if you don't want to track the clicks, we can just uncheck this checkbox. Send log data, we'll talk about this one. Multi-part IMIME. So basically this option helps us to send both the versions of the email message to the customer, both the text version and the HTML version. So now let me just uncheck these checkboxes and click on next. So we'll check this checkbox, confirming that everything is correct, everything looks good, and then we can send the email. Okay, so we'll click on send button. So two things that we will observe. The first thing is that once the email is sent, we should see the subscriber record must be created in all subscribers list. And another thing is that these subscribers should be added to the publication list that we had selected at the time of the sending the email. Okay, so first let me show you. Okay, so the subscriber record has been created and the subscriber key is sub 1011, and this is the email address, right? So the system has created the subscriber, and if you go to this publication list, which is Amazon Electronics, here we can also see that the two records have been added, right? This one and this one, right? And the status is active. So what does it mean? That next time, um, okay, before this, I'll have to show you the profile center page. So I think you guys must have received the email, right? So what you need to do for me is, um, let me open the email message. So in the email message at the bottom, there would be a update profile link, right? So you just need to copy that link and then share that in the chat window. So do we have Sai or Deepika?
Yes, Rahul, I didn't receive any mail.
Okay, so yeah, it might take few seconds, and yeah, also check in your spam folder. You might have received in the spam or promotion, so keep checking over there as well.
Okay.
So what you need to do in this email message, you have this link, update profile, right? So you need to copy this link and then share that in the chat window. Did you receive the email?
Yes, Rahul, I received the email.
Okay, okay. Yeah, just copy the link and share that in the chat window.
Okay.
So what we generally do is, so we basically prepare the target audience, we create the email message, we send the email to the customers, and now the customer, when they receive the email, they have this link, update profile, at the footer of the email message, right? Now they can click on this link and it will take them to the profile center page. Now on the profile center page, they can update their profile, they can update their preferences, they can opt in or opt out from a particular category as well, right? So if they opt out from a particular category, what will happen? The publication list will be updated over here. So from active, let's say if I want to opt out from Amazon Electronics, then from the active it will change to unsubscribe. Okay. So next time when I'm trying to send the email to Deepika uh, for the publication list Amazon Electronics, the system will check what is the status. So if it is unsubscribed, then the email will not be sent. Okay, so this is how the customers, I mean, we can basically manage the customers. Okay, let me just open the link first and show you. Sorry, I think it did not get copied. You have been unsubscribed. So did you click on unsubscribe button over here?
No, Rahul, shall I?
No, no, you don't need to do anything. Okay, I think I copied. I think you pasted the wrong link, I think. Did you click on this update profile or this unsubscribe link? You have to copy this link. Let me show you again. So at the bottom, there would be two links, update profile and unsubscribe. So you need to right click on this update profile link and then copy that link.
Okay, fine. Can you please check? I have sent.
Okay, let me check. Yeah, I received it. Let me just check. Yeah, this is the one, profile center. So the customer will receive this profile center link at the bottom of the email, like in the footer of the email message. Now they can update their personal information, and this will update. This will get updated in the all subscribers list. Okay. Here they can update their preferences. That is nothing but your preference attributes. If they want to unsubscribe from all the publication list, like from like all subscribers list as well, then they just can click on this one and click on update. Now all the publication list will be visible in the subscription center page, and here we have okay, I think the another link that we clicked na. Yes, Deepu.
Uh, the profile center you have opened, no? Their email address, first name, all the data is there, no, Rahul?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
When we give those like if I have want to change those, you have sent mail, no? If I want
mm-hmm.
to change those that email address, I will change it. That will be effort in the that data extension also.
Not in the data extension, but your all subscribers list.
Okay.
So the reason that why we are not able to use the Amazon Electronics has opted in, because we clicked on this link, right? Unsubscribe. So this is one click unsubscribe option. So if you click on this one, you will be unsubscribed. Okay. So let's say first let's check the status over here for Deepika in this publication list. Okay, so which one is this? I think this is the one, right? Your email address. Yeah. So as we can see, the status has been changed to unsubscribe, right? Because we clicked on the one click unsubscribe option. So now let's say if I want to, so what will happen? Let's say if I'll try to send the email again to this email address using the publication list Amazon Electronics, then the email will not be sent because the system will check the status. Now let's say, I change my mode, and what I want to do, that again I want to receive the communication related to let's say any other category. Let's say I want to receive the communication related to this category, Amazon grocery. So what I'll do, I'll check this checkbox and click on update. So what will happen, that I'll so my record will be created in the Amazon grocery publication list with the status as active. So let's see. Okay, there are so many. Okay, so here we can see this is the one that is created, right? So anybody has any confusion related to regarding publication list? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Next we have a separation list. So separation lists are basically used to exclude the subscribers from the email send, right? You use these lists to exclude or to suppress the subscribers from the email send. So why do we do that? So let's say we have some of the competitors that we don't want to target, or that we don't want to send the email to. So we can basically prepare the list for them and every time we are sending the email, we can just exclude them. Okay, or maybe some of the subscribers who doesn't want to receive the email for some reason, right? So let's say we have received their request, or maybe these are the blocked users or something like that, right? So where in any case, wherever you want to exclude the subscribers from the email send, you can prepare a list and then you can use that list as a suppression list to exclude the subscribers. Okay, so creating a suppression list is very easy. So you just click on create button, and okay, so we were also discussing this checkbox, right? Public checkbox. So you will get this checkbox every time you're creating any type of list, any user defined list or publication list or suppression list. So what is the meaning of this? So if you make any list as public, then it will be available on the subscription center page, and if you do not make it public, then it will not be visible on the subscription center page. Okay, so let's say demo suppression list. So let's click on save. Now how we can use a suppression list to exclude the subscribers from the email sent. So let's say if you're sending an email, so let me just click on send button over here. Click on next. Okay, so here we can use these ones. So first of all, okay, here we have trade extensions. Okay. So here we have so many suppression lists. So let's say if I want to exclude the subscribers, who are blocked customers, I'll just click drag and drop into this section. So what will happen? Let's say we have subscriber A. So that is a part of targeted as well, and that is a blocked customer. So what will happen? It will, if it matches, then it will exclude that subscriber and the email will not be sent. There's something called exclusion list as well. So you will not see this on the user interface. So exclusion list is basically any list, a group or data extension that you use to exclude the subscribers from the email sent. For example, let's say if I'm choosing a data extension to exclude the subscribers. So let's say I'll go over here. Okay. So I can drag and drop any data extension over here as well for the exclusion purpose. But this data extension will not be called as a suppression list, but we will call it as a exclusion list. Okay, so exclusion list, you don't create it separately, but any data extension, any list or any group that you use to exclude the subscribers, you can call it as a exclusion list. Now you must be wondering that if we can use the data extension as an exclusion list, then why we have the suppression list, right? Because both of these things are serving the same purpose. So I mean, technically they work the same way, that both of these things will work the same way and will exclude the subscribers from the email sent. The difference is only in the use cases. um, so suppression list will be created for the permanent purpose. So let's say if you want to exclude the subscriber from all the email sends, then we'll create the suppression list and we will use it over and over again. But what happens is, let's say you are executing one campaign, and in that campaign, let's say there are 100 subscribers. Some of the subscribers, let's say out of these 100 subscribers, have already received the email, the same email. Maybe you have sent the email for the testing purpose, or maybe for some another reason that manually you have sent, but you don't want to send the email again to some of the subscribers out of 100. So what you would be doing, you would be creating another data extension in which you will only keep those subscribers who already have received the email, and that data extension you'll use as a exclusion list to exclude the subscribers from the data extension A, right? So you use a exclusion list for the temporary purpose where you want to exclude the subscribers only for one time, but separation list is basically kind of a permanent, which gives us the uh, you know storage where we can keep the subscribers that we want to exclude. Okay, now we're going to discuss about the interactions. And interactions, we'll talk about the user initiated emails, Salesforce and emails, and triggered emails. So user initiated emails, we'll talk about it in detail when we'll talk about the automation studio. But for now, let's understand like what is a user initiated versus what is a triggered email. So user initiated email means that email message or an email sent that is initiated by the user. Now, who are the users? So we are the users, right? So the developers or the campaign manager or anybody who's using this application is a user. Now, what are the use cases? Let's say you want to send a promotional message to the customers. Okay, so it is initiated by the user. Everything is decided by the user. For example, like what would be the content of the email message, what would be the date and time of the email message, who would be the recipient. So everything is determined by the user and also initiated by the user. Like we are kicking off the email sender from our side, whereas in the triggered emails it is initiated by the end user. So we did not initiate, but the customer initiates it. How? Let's say if there's any OTP request email send, right? Now we don't know that when to send the email, because whenever somebody will request for the OTP, then the email will be sent. So we do not control the date and time of the email sent. The customer controls the date and time. After that, let's say who would be the recipient. So whoever will be raising the request, so that will be the recipient, right? That will be the target audience. So we do not decide that, okay, to whom the email is to be sent. It is decided by the customer itself. Okay, so there are two main differences between the user initiated and the triggered sense. So in user initiated, we do everything, and in triggered sense, the customer initiates the send. Okay, now how these two different types of sense work and the difference between them and everything we'll discuss, because trigger sense would require the knowledge of API. So we'll discuss this thing later. We'll talk about the API, and the user initiated will basically come in the automation studio. Okay. So there's another type of send as well. Let me just talk about it quickly. So what happens in preview and test is that whatever the email that we have built, we can generate a preview against a subscriber. And how do we select a subscriber? So we have to choose the list or data extension where we have saved the subscriber. So in our case, so we had created this folder and we have this data extension, and here we have two subscribers, right? So we can click on any of the subscribe and click on select button. And what I want to do, that if I'll send the email to this subscriber, what my email will look like. So it will look like something like this. So if I want to switch to another subscriber, then I'll just click on this arrow button, and then I can see that for Deepika the email would look something like this. Okay, so once we generate the preview, then what we can do, we can make a test send. Okay, so here you will come to the test send tab, and here you can mention the email address, okay, of the recipient to whom the email needs to be sent, and then you will just click on the send test button. So once you click on this, and then you can click on confirm and send, and the test email would be sent. So why, I mean, how the test send is different from our send flow. So send flow is basically generally done to send the email to the real customers, but the test send is basically generally sent to the testing team or to ourselves to see what this email will look like in our email client or maybe in browsers, in mobile devices. Because sometimes what happens is, let's say if we have images, buttons and everything in marketing cloud, everything will render properly, everything will look fine. But when we send this email message to our desktop and mobile devices, then it doesn't look good. I mean, maybe it is not proper, it is not in the proper alignment, and the formatting issues. So you're saying, somebody saying something?
Responsive issues like.
Yeah. So those issues basically will come up. So in order to test those issues, so what we can do, we can just select a subscriber and then make the test send. Okay, so here you can select up to only 5 email addresses or the 5 recipients, right, to whom the email you can send. But let's say that you have a big testing team and you want to send this email to, let's say, more than 5 recipients. Then what you can do, you can come over here and then you can choose a tester data extension. So this data extension is used for the testing purpose. So how we can do that? So if you come over here and then we have something called used for testing. So when you check this checkbox, it means this data extension can also be used for testing purpose now. So if you come over here, you click on this folder icon, and then you can select the data extension for the testing purpose. So all the recipients or all the records that we have inside that data extension, so they all will receive the email. Okay, so you can choose this data extension, click on select. So what will happen now, all these recipients will receive the test email. Okay, so we have seen the send flow and we have seen the test send. We also have seen the Salesforce send and the user initiated send and the triggered send. So user initiated and the triggered we'll talk about like about this in detail later. But now you know about two. These are the two mainly used send flow and the test send. Okay, so send flow is for your send to normal real customers, and test send is for the testing purpose. Okay, so now we'll be talking about the A/B testing. So can anybody tell me, I mean, what is A/B testing if you know?
A/B testing is something like which works properly when we are doing campaignings for uh,
Mhm.
which which has getting like with more opening rates like
Mhm.
check rates like for the testing purpose when we are running campaigning.
Right. So in A/B testing, like in the word, we have A/B, right? And it means that if we ever have the confusion, or if you want to decide between two different versions of something, A and B, then we can perform the A/B testing. Okay. So let's say we have this email message in which we are not sure that, okay, which subject line will get us more engagement, right? Will which subject line will get us more open rate? We have two subject lines and we want to decide one subject line only. Then what we can do, we can send some of the email messages with the subject line A to some of the customers, and then we can send the email message with B subject line to some of the customers, and then we can um, check the results, and then we can decide that, okay, which subject line is performing better, right? So in A/B testing, we always have two different versions, and in order to come up with the best version, we can perform the A/B testing, right? So how do we do that in Marketing Cloud? So we'll click on this create A/B test. Okay, so here we will give the name, let's say best subject line. So we are not just limited to the subject line, but we can test 6 different types of content in the email message. So let's say if you're confused between 2 different subject lines and you don't uh, you want to do the A/B testing, then you can choose a subject line as a test type. If we have completely 2 different emails that we want to test, then we also can do it. Sometimes let's say there is an area in the email message that you're not able to determine that, okay, if this let's say you have this email message in which we have some of the images and the text as well, right? Now we want to decide that should we go ahead with the images or should we go ahead with the text, right? So what we can do, we can choose a particular area in this inside the email message and we can do the content area testing. So for this one, this would require the A/B test content block. Okay, so that one we'll check later. But let's come to the form name. So if we have 2 different form names, so we can test the form name as well. We can basically test our send and date time. So let's say if we'll send this in morning, then what would be the engagement? If we send it in the evening, then what would be the engagement and things like that. Pre-header, so similar to subject line, we have the pre-header. If you want to test the pre-header, then we can also do that. Okay, so for the demo purpose, we will go ahead with the subject line for now. And what you can do, you can also test the you can also perform the A/B testing for the rest of the test type.
Can we
So
select multiple like subject line and send date and time?
okay, the difference between the subject line and send date time.
No. Can we select two or we can choose only one like while testing?
Yeah, we can only choose one. This is a radio button, no?
Yeah.
So we can only choose one. So here what we will do, we'll have to basically choose one email message. So the email message that we had created. So I'll be choosing this one only. Publication list time. Okay. So let's say we are sending this email message. The subject line could be, let's say, publication list tutorial. Okay, so we have provided the name of this test and then the test type, and then the subject line A will be pre-populated, and then we have the subject line B. Now let me just click on the next button. Yeah. So here we have to choose the recipient to whom that we need to send the email. Okay, so let's say let me choose a data extension which has more subscribers. Okay, so it has got 8 subscribers. Now what we can do, so what we are telling over here, we can configure the distribution. So let's say, okay, so what we will do, out of 100% subscribers, we want to send the email to 25% of the subscribers with subject line A. Okay, so from this email message, 2 different versions will be created. One email message with subject line A and the another email message will be subject line B. Okay, so that will be done by the system. We don't have to do anything. We have just selected the email message that we want to send to the customer. Okay, so automatically 2 versions will be created with subject line A and subject line B. So randomly, the system will pick up 2 subscribers and will send the email with subject line A. Randomly, the another 2 subscribers will be selected, and the system will send the email message with subject line B. Now we have, I think we have total 9 subscribers. Okay, so remaining we have the 5 subscribers, so they will not receive any email for now. Okay, so when we go to the step number 4, we can basically choose the option that whenever the winner will be declared, then automatically the remaining audience or the remaining subscribers will receive the winning version of the email message. Okay, so let me show you that thing as well. Here also we can choose a publication list, suppression list, or exclusion list, but these are the optional. So we are not just choosing these ones, and we can click on the next button. Okay. So in the third step, what we can do is that we have to basically choose that how we are going to determine the winner. So let's say these are the two different email message that we have. Now, if we get the higher unique open rate, so that version of the email message we should declare as a winner, or the email which will get the higher unique CTR rate. Okay, so based on the nature, because if you are doing the subject line, right, because if somebody is opening the email message, it is because of the subject line, because subject line will appear first now, and then only if the subject line is attractive, then only the customer will open the email message. So here the more the more accurate parameter to determine the winner, it would be the open rate, right? If something else, let's say if you want to do the content areas or something, then that would be your click-through rate. Okay, so for subject line we'll be choosing the open rate only. And next we have is the evaluation period. So evaluation period means that for how long you want to evaluate, or for how long you want the system to monitor the email messages, and then the result will be declared. So we can choose as minimum as 1 hour, and we can go maximum whatever we want to do. So let's go for 1 day. Okay, so after 24 hours the winning version will be declared, and then we can click on the next button. So here we have the start test option. So either we can go with the immediately or the schedule later. So immediately means we want to send the email right now, and schedule later means we want to send the email at a scheduled date and time. Now when so we have the remaining audience as well, right? So we have remaining 5 subscribers. So the system is asking us that we want to send the winning email to the remainder, like when we want to send the winning email to the remainder. So automatically means that whenever the winner will be declared, automatically the system will send the winning version of the email message to the remaining audience. Manually means that we will come to the system, we will go to the A/B testing, we'll select this one, and then we will manually send the email to the winning, like we will send the email to the remaining audience manually, okay, from our side. So, and then we have to choose the from option, like what would be the from email address and from name and these kind of things. um, if you want to receive the email when a winner is declared, so we can just check these check boxes and we will receive the notifications. Other send options we have, well, we already have talked about the MIME or tracking links and logging and everything. Okay, so since we have chosen the data extension that we don't want to send the email, so I'll just change the target audience. So I'll be choosing the data extension that we had created. Okay, and we'll be executing this A/B testing. Okay, so since we only have 2 subscribers over here, we don't have any remaining audience, right? So I'll click on next now. So I'll click on next. So now I'll click on immediately, and now you can see we don't have this option, right? That when do you want to send the winning email to the remaining audience, because we don't have any remaining audience over here. Okay, I'll choose this form name and I'll uncheck these checkboxes. Again, we are good. So I'll click on the finish button now. So there's the confirmation box that if everything looks good, then we can just click on confirm and then the email will be sent. Okay. So you guys will receive the email, and based on your engagement, based on the open activity, we will have the winner by tomorrow, right? So any doubts so far? Okay. So next we're going to talk about the tracking. Okay. So you can come to the tracking sense, and here you will see that we have the my tracking as a parent folder. Under this we have the subfolder. So we have all these subfolders. So these folders are created by the system. You can also create the folder. You can just right click on this one and then you can create a new folder as well. Okay, so generally what happens, all these email sends that you make through the send flow. So if you have noticed carefully that whenever we send the email using the send flow, the folder that is selected for the tracking is the my tracking folder. Okay, so by default, whenever we send the email, the tracking information will be saved over here in under my tracking folder. Okay, and if you make a test send, then the tracking results for the test send will be stored by default under the test send folder. Okay, so if you make a Salesforce send, then the results will get stored over here and things like that. We'll talk about, so we already have talked about the A/B testing. So if you make a A/B test, then the tracking results would be stored over here. Okay, as you can see, we just made this one, right? Best subject line 010, and this is the tracking information that we can see that it was of the subject line type. um, this is the, so we don't have any remaining audience. We have subject line is subject line B, job ID, email sent, CTR rate and everything. Here we can track. Okay, so what we'll be doing, we'll be picking up one of the emails sent that we have sent. Okay, okay, but here's an interesting thing. So I think, hmm, so this is the one, I think. Yeah. So this is the email that I had sent, right? Initially, when we were doing this publication list demo one, I had sent it to two different subscribers, right? Here you can see that we have 50% click-through rate because I think Deepika clicked on the link in the email message and shared that link with me in the chat window. But we don't have any open rate. Now, Deepika, can you tell me, like, did you open the email to copy the link, or you just copied the link without opening the email?
No, I opened the email.
Okay, but as we can see that open rate is 0%, but we have click-through rate is 50%. So now or tomorrow you will tell me that how is it possible? Like, is it technical issue, or like what exactly is it, or like is it possible or not possible? Okay,
I think she just copied it without clicking a link.
without opening the email.
No. Without after opening the email, she just copied the link. She didn't click the link. and in the browser.
But I clicked on the link na. So I clicked on the link over here, this one and this one, right? So that is why it is showing as a click-through rate as a 50%, right? Because we clicked on the link, but it is showing that the email was not opened by the subscriber, and that is why it is showing the open rate is 0%, which is wrong, right? That how can somebody click on a link without opening the email? Right. So I mean, whatever they are showing is correct only, but there's a reason behind this. So I want you at least to think about it or find about it. What is the reason? And tomorrow in the class we will discuss about what exactly is the reason and why we have these numbers.
Okay. And Rahul, I have a doubt. While we are sending an emails, nowhere we are selecting the template. Like, what is the template we are planning to send? Like, where will be choosing that?
So the email templates in email message, we will come once this email studio is over. So we'll talk about all these things in the content builder. Okay.
Okay.
So you just have to wait for some time, and then all your questions will be answered.
Okay.